What's up, fiends? Alucard here, back with another Tubi Tuesday. So what's up, gang? How's it going, everybody? See, a couple people are here already. Let's see who we got. We got Echo Zero, of course, my good buddy. Thank you, my friend. Let's see. They got a Bigfoot con coming up. Oh, I'd like to go to that. They have one down here too. I think it's called the Rougarou Festival. Um, yeah, be very interested to see what's see what that's all about. Casey's here to get Squatch and chew bubble gum, and he's all out of gum. There you go. Bam. Nice little Piper reference. Let's see. Before he died, he released a soda name. I heard about that. Have you tried it, Echo? Have you tried it? I'd love to know what it tastes like. Squatch lives. There you go. Remember, in Washington State, it is illegal to kill Bigfoot. Very, very interesting. You want to get drunk with Bigfoot? Oh, kind of like wasn't that a commercial? Let's see. Oh, Kyle's here. He's here. He wants to hear about fangy things. I got some fangs. You know. Welcome to the Squatch. Yes, I love it. Love it. Love it. Get drunk with Squatch. We should make that happen. We should really make that happen. Vanessa's here. Hello, hello. You want to try if you can find? Yeah, if you can find it, man, let me know. I'd love to do that. Hey, Katie, how's it going? Oh, my mom's here. What's going on, Mom? Let's see. Now I have time to catch up and view this before today's talk. Please don't. I won't give away too much. I won't give away too much. I promise. So in a little while, we should have a special guest joining us. We'll wait for that when he gets here. But yeah, so today we are talking about House Squatch. Yep, I have the physical copy as well. Thanks to my wonderful aunt T Betty, she bought this for me. It is one of I think 300 that got made on Blu-ray. So yeah, I'm pretty stoked about actually owning it, and it actually has this gigantic poster that I will need to frame and put up somewhere because it's awesome. Yeah. It is released by SRS Cinema and, of course, the Polonia Brothers Entertainment. Yes, this is a Polonia movie. Yep, the infamous Polonia Brothers Entertainment. Yep, I got the Blu-ray. They said it's only 300 made. I believe it was 300. Yeah. Hey, Waffles, what's going on? Thanks for showing up. Appreciate it. So yeah, House Squatch, y'all. Was anybody able to watch House Squatch on Tubi? Because it is on Tubi. And to hold true to the show, I have watched it on Blu-ray, and I also rewatched it on Tubi. So this is a legit Tubi Tuesday. I watched it on Tubi, even though I have the disc. You know, because I'm a dork like that. You know. 317 sold. Well, you know, what you gonna do, right? So yeah, I'll tell you a little bit about this movie. So it's directed by Mark Polonia and his son Anthony, who I think actually probably doesn't get enough credit. I think Anthony Polonia has a lot more to do with it than people think he does. But anyway, it stars Tim Hatch, Ken Van Zant, Jeff Kirkendall, Titus Himmelberger, and Jamie Morgan. So all of the Polonia pals are all in this movie, all over it. Every scene has one of those folks in it. And the outfit, the Sasquatch, House Squatch. I got it. The House Squatch outfit is basically a guy in a gorilla costume. That's basically from one of those like $50 costumes from Party City. That's pretty much what you've got. All right, let's see. Let's see. All right, you hear about Halloween 6 coming out by Scream and Videodrome coming 4K. I did hear about Videodrome. I'm very excited about that. Halloween 6 from Scream Factory, I did not hear about that, but that's cool. So to add to the other, I think they released the first 5 already, right? Yeah, so that's pretty cool. I may have to upgrade all those. I may have to. Let's see. Katie watched it. Okay, good. So I'm glad somebody watched it. Hey, Steven, what's going on, buddy? I know you've seen House Squatch. Let's see. Yeah, here we go. House Squatch was funny. And yeah, it is a hoot. It really is. It's I hesitate to say horror comedy. I'm just gonna say comedy. Yeah, because it's that goofy. Mr. Bones in the house. What's going on, Bonesy? So yeah, House Squatch, man. This movie's great. This movie, if you're into like super goofy, just stuff that just doesn't care, and it's just funny to be funny. Like this is that movie, and it's yeah. I mean, if you've seen a Polonia Brothers movie, you pretty much know what you're getting into. They really amped up the comedy in this one quite a bit, which isn't a bad thing. There's a lot of toilet humor, uh, and I mean like literal toilet humor as well as figurative. So yeah. What company? What company? SRS Cinema and the Polonia Brothers Entertainment. That's the company. That's the company. So basically, this movie is about a Bigfoot going into a suburban neighborhood, and there's like new housing developments and whatnot going on, and there's this guy named Baxter, played by Titus Himmelberger, and he kind of runs the town, sort of, and and it's just, God, it's so goofy. Basically, he's trying to sell all these houses, and these two like vagrants basically commandeer one of the houses, and of course the house is also occupied by Mr. House Squatch, and and apparently there was an incident in 1986 with a house squatch in this same neighborhood. I think it's called Shadyville. I think is the name of the neighborhood. Yeah, Shadyville. And so it's basically the cop and the guy that stopped him in 1986 coming back to fight the house squatch off once again. That's your basic plot line, I guess, without giving too much away. Yeah. All right, everybody saying hi to everybody. Eminem's the mayor? I don't know. What are y'all talking about? Let's see. Does he come up from the toilet? Not quite, but I would not have been surprised if he did. But yeah, this movie. Yep. Oh, Shadyville. Oh, yeah, I got you. Yeah, I'm tired, Bones. I'm tired tonight. There you go. You got me. But yeah, let me look at my notes real quick and see if there's anything else I really want to get out before our guest gets here. Yeah. So let's see. So we have Tim Hatch as Mulchaney. He's kind of like the deputy of the town. We have Ken Van Zant playing Sheriff Milligan. He's the he's the sheriff, and hey, I know, mind blowing. We got Jeff Kirkendall as Duncan, that's the guy that fought off the house squatch 30 years ago. And we got Titus Himmelberger as Baxter, the realty guy, and Jamie Morgan as Anne. And our guest has arrived, Mr. Bones, Mr. Impatient Bones. So let's bring him on, shall we? What's up, Tim?
Hello.
Hello. We have the star of Squatch himself, Mr. Tim.
Yes.
How's it going?
Not bad. Thank you. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I was just I was just kind of going through what the movie was.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a laugh out loud nonstop silly experience.
I can imagine y'all just. I mean, I don't know how y'all got through it with straight faces, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, generally on a Mark Polonia experience, we often, I mean, it doesn't really matter the focal point of the film or whatnot. It's Mark's, Mark, Jeff, myself, Titus, some of the usuals. It's just a hoot, a very laid back, good time. I mean, and it shows, obviously.
Oh, yeah.
There's a good trust between most of us, and of many years now and many projects. And it's just a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I mean, it's just Mark's energy. He's just full throttle, ready to go. As soon as the sun comes up, let's get filming, man. And we just have a good, that creative energy allows you to, or when it's in a good environment, you feed off of it. And I'm generally a very high on life person in general. I mean, if that's my choosing. I know sometimes life is complicated for a lot of us at times.
Oh, yeah.
But I wake up with the intention that I'm gonna, really try to have a pretty enjoyable ride of the day. But with Mark, he just his passion and that creative passion, even whether it's no matter what you're doing, when you're with the people that you enjoy being with, it really it makes it easy to explore the creative process.
Oh yeah, I can definitely tell. Yeah, I can definitely tell he kind of let y'all run not wild, but sort of. I guess that's the way to put it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys are always hilarious in like everything.
Thank you.
And yeah. I really enjoyed this movie for some reason. It really cracked me up.
I know. I was really we have a bunch, we obviously have a smorgasbord of projects out now all over the place. And hearing lots of good noise from everybody. I'm very pleased and ecstatic. I mean, once again, it's a crew of people that even if we had 2 people watching, I'd still would do it again in a heartbeat. I mean, we enjoy what we do. We're a good crew. We've been doing it for a little while now, all of us in different ways, and we love. Mark is just brilliant and very focused on what he does, and I mean, he's been doing it a long time now for his history I'm surprised how Squatch. I kind of felt like it for a quick second. I thought maybe it was going to slightly go under the radar a little bit for a quick second. It seemed like it did come out a little not too long ago, and every time I see a new piece that comes out, I'm always like, it's always exciting for me, of course, but yeah, I'm very thrilled with the finished product. I was telling Mark the other day that, and he's always so silly. He just, he
I can imagine.
yeah, he just his answers are always like, all right, um, he does, yeah, he just does it, and he doesn't get into some of the stuff, but I told him what a great job he did with delivering that finished piece.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. Well, we got everybody in the chat saying hi to you,
Oh,
and
hello.
we got
Great.
Steven, Howard Freak 85 up in the
Yes, of
house,
course. How you doing, Stephen?
and let's see, we got Vanessa, June,
Hi. Good
Katie
evening,
from Popping
lady.
the Popcorn,
Oh, hey.
YouTube me, Echo
Wow.
Zero, a whole bunch of people up in here.
Wow.
Have
Yeah.
Cheetah with you, Mr.
Yes,
Magic
some
himself.
familiar names, of course.
Let's
Wow.
see. Let's see. YouTube me says sounds like one of those self-aware projects that let you just flow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say so. Let's see what else we got. Everybody saying hi. Let's see. Hey, Half House Will Squatch.
We did this. We did
Like,
some of that too, apparently. We did a lot of squattings, a lot of squatching and squatting and squitching and scratching and
oh, that is too funny. But let me see. I got So okay, so you in this movie you play Mulchaney, the kind of I guess you're like the deputy, right?
yeah,
So of the
yeah,
town.
we've been there before.
Yeah. I've
Many of
noticed
these
you've played a
colonial
few.
small towns. I'm always
Yeah.
played a cop or two in my time, or deputy or sheriff or whatever.
Well, I will say some of the facial expressions of yours in this movie just absolutely cracked me up.
Oh,
Especially the
thanks.
very last shot of you with the tongue out. Just I don't know what it was, but yeah, just
I,
just I busted out laughing.
yeah, I know. I've heard that a couple times. A lot of this stuff, especially majority of that film, just we just some of it just happens. It's when we some of those a lot of those little nuances and stuff. I like to ham it up and have fun and that kind of stuff. It wasn't like Mark said, Tim, can you make sure you really be have this silly death whatever mannerism that I did or whatever, but yeah, that just kind of just were just the sillier the better from with anything I do. I try to take
Right,
it to
right.
the next level, but yeah, I know that was priceless, I guess, for what it was worth. And yeah, I'm glad that people enjoyed that.
Yeah, very cool. So what drew you into doing these types of movies?
Well, I mean, I've all through my career, I've always been able to uh, in general, both on stage and screen and whatever. I've always um I can pull off a multitude of roles basically. And there's been many projects all throughout my history of doing theatrical stuff. Because I mean, to say that what drew me to this, I mean, I basically fell into the Polonia crew a bit of time ago now. It
Right.
wasn't really like I was seeking and then we've been able to hit it off, and we've had a good run, and we've got some more to come, I think, and or more gas left in the tank if we can afford it. If to wink, wink, I guess, even though
Yeah.
that's not a great funny topic, but for right now we're having some gas world issues, but I guess, and there was a lot of gas on the House Squatch set, as we could see and tell,
It
throughout.
definitely was.
So that's another topic for what it's worth. And but as far as I mean, I don't think Mark, when we do these things, I mean, definitely he crafts. He knows what he's obviously doing, and he I think, obviously, like many directors, has a gist of who he would prefer as he's writing, or they're coming up with these concepts and stuff. has people in mind for, you know, whether we can make it happen or not, who that's
Right.
the world or, you know, higher powers. But he obviously, you know, like many writer directors, they're like, oh, I want so and so maybe to play this type, or, you know, and so whatever. But I've, in general, there was, you know, I've obviously, even Sharkula is a very tongue-in-cheek movie all throughout, and very campy and terrific, and everybody's ecstatic about that too. But it's, you know, ironic, all these timings of all these projects at the same time. And but in that, I obviously am a little more heroic and a little more straightforward, but I do have my wit and my charm throughout that at times. And uh, but there's more, other people have more of the sillier antics and stuff. But I'm just a goofy guy in general, and Mark is too. And just, again, that creative that energy, like, you just, it's addicting, and you really kind of just, you know, when you feel like you're in the zone or whatever,
Right.
it's really easy to just have a good time, and just anything. It's like a good improv class.
Mm-hmm.
And we just ham it up. I mean, and with Mark in general, like the last few projects, I mean, I've always been very dedicated to doing my best with stuff, because I know of his legacy, and I want to
Right.
do it justice, and I think I have so far, or it seems to be going well so far. Knock on some wood, and my, you know, some, but
Yeah.
but he um I think these last couple, I think it's, again, by being or being familiar and comfortable with yeah, I mean, his already very welcoming uh, environment to begin with. But since we've been, you know, a lot of us has been, it's familiar territory. You know, we get on, it's you know, we know, I know you again, and, you know, everybody gets in that comfort pocket. um, we've been able to I just, when I do a project now, especially obviously Mark, I I just want to have a good time. I want to, I mean, bring my best, but I I'm looking to have a good time now. And I think when we did Camp Murder a couple summers ago,
Mm-hmm.
which is also a very silly and fun and unique film too. Ever since that, I really was like, that time I was just like, you know what? Let's just let it ride, man. Like, let's
Yeah.
not get too crazy. Let's not get that. I mean, like I said, those first couple of years and movies, I was, you know, I not that I was like, oh my god, this is like, you know, I'm like really intense, but you know, I really, you know, I was still kind of feeling things out, and just a
Right.
little,
Yeah.
you know,
Naturally.
but
Yeah.
once everybody, hey, what's up? You know, we're really comfortable. Then it's just, it's old hat, and so
Right.
now it's like, you know, just okay, what are we gonna come up with now? You know,
Right. Well, I can definitely tell that all you guys mesh like really well. Like you can, it just exudes off the screen into the
yeah,
movie. It really
it's
does.
easy peasy. I mean, Ken Van Sant, just he's I mean, yeah, he's another one that just, there's like, it's there's no, you know, it's, yeah, I mean, it's so terrible working with Ken. He's such a diva. I mean, it's awful. I mean, and Jeff, of course, is always a consistent, just a pleasure, because I go way back with him anyways, otherwise.
Right.
But he is, you know, even his work in this film, House Squatch, and also obviously Sharkula too, or Jeremy, or the list goes on. But he just does a nice. He's very subtle in this film. I think he fits very, like Ken too. It's just very natural. I mean, it's a silly movie, and a lot of camp. It's just nonstop camp, and a lot of it is obviously from a lot of people I'm hearing. They love the the technical elements that Mark and Anthony obviously fine tuned,
Right.
the post and all that stuff to make it a full, because that's their job. I mean, it's not just and Mark obviously is an actor too, and Anthony does a great job with effects and stuff as well, and he's dabbled in some acting too. But I mean, that movie there's a lot of sound effects and a lot of technical. Like Mark does a real amazing job with the editing process. I mean,
He does. Yeah.
I think he spends as much time on that than he does anything otherwise. I don't look at Mark. I just look at him as like a craft. He doesn't, it's not that he direct. I mean, he just lets us have fun. And then he's, I got work to do tonight, guys. I'll see you in the morning. Like he's in that editing room just nonstop. And always he doesn't, like, whenever I'm around, he just nonstop work. I don't know what he must have vitamins. I don't know, but he doesn't quit. And then when I see him at 9 a.m, he's like, okay guys, ready to go? I'm like, dude, I just woke up. Like, bro, like, let me get a coffee and be at least, I think. I mean, but no, it's an absolute pleasure. I'm ready to go too. I mean, but he
he's just a fireball.
But Jeff, anyways, I think that's where I was with this. Was just Jeff too. He's very subtle. This is the most subtle I've seen him perform, and Jeff is obviously a star in his own right, big time, and with a lot from the Polonia films and other things too. But it's effortless. That's what I witnessed and when I watched Jeff in this performance in the film. I mean, I know, again, I'm not talking about some really, like really intense work here or something, there is a process, and there is a professionalism, and again, that's again from Jeff being completely, fully at ease with Mr. Polonia and his other partners here, and Jeff. I mean, and even just there's lines that I could see Jeff playing so many different ways, and just the way and Ken, obviously, like I said, he's terrific, but Jeff, he has a lot of scenes where you think it could go, and he just delivers it just right. I'm like, Jeff just like he's just, and it's not over the top. I mean, he's very natural in that element, and that subtleness worked is all I basically getting to, and he did a nice job, because you know what I mean. Like he's very nonchalant through this whole movie. I mean, he has a couple spots where I think he tries to be there's the man. He tries to be cutesy. Yeah, I mean, but all these scenes, I mean, there too. I mean, he's in character. He's hunting a Bigfoot creature. I mean, or Sasquatch or whatever it is, and he's in character. I mean, or he's really delivering what he's doing, but again, like I said, there's scenes where you would think, like if it was I felt he really had a nice, simple approach to this character, and he's just silly too. I mean, like at the end where he's dozing off with Titus farting up a storm, and I mean, it's very, or when they're about to. It's just Jeff did a nice job, and everybody knows that obviously Jeff it's not his first rodeo. So
right.
I enjoyed his performance, even though it's one of my pals, Polonia pals, but I give credit. Yeah, I think Jeff did a nice job in the film.
Well, did you get started with Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, we're from the same neck of the woods. We, kind of how if you were to talk about Mark and say Ken and maybe Brett Piper, and then obviously the late his brother,
right.
That world, but my world was basically a bit Jeff Kirkendall, James Corollas, who's also a Polonia at times,
Mhm.
and we go way back from our neck of the woods. So that's kind of a lot of our earlier stuff is that's our crew. And then we meshed together at one point.
And
We
now just
became
one big
Avengers
happy.
together,
Yeah,
and
there
we've
you
all
go.
done tremendous work since. It's been I mean, those guys on their early stages, our early stages, and now we've combined forces, and it's paid off tremendously. I mean, I'm very proud of James Corollas too. I know he's done some significant things with Mark over the years too, and we all at different times we're in different projects, and we have different things going on in our lives, and and stuff, and so we're but James is still hanging in there pretty good, and he's cranked out some stuff in recent times too. And I know he's not a part of this project, but per se, but his but he but he's done some great, he's been a part of other big Polonia films too. So
Yeah.
but in some classics. So but anyways, but that's kind of where we came, some of our crew. And then also she's not a part of this current film either, but Marie De Lorenzo was also a Polonia pal at times. She is from our neck, from our originals.
Okay.
Marie started out with our posse with
Nice. Okay.
Jeff, James, Marie, and actually a more recent face, again, is Mike Karodish. Michael
Oh
Karodish
yeah.
is also does a nice performance in midstream in House Squatch too.
Yeah.
And he's stole many of recent films of Polonia as well too. But Michael, when he does the cleanup scene, remember he does the
Wait.
cleanup,
Yes.
and he's like, "Oh my god, what happened in here?" Like, what the? And he does a tremendous scene there too.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's from
I
our
kind of
crew.
want to talk about a couple of these characters here.
Yeah.
So of course, yeah, you played the deputy, and then we have
Yep.
Jamie Morgan
Yep.
playing Anne, who I love. She's fantastic. I love her and
I
everything.
I know. I
Um,
know. She's
so
earned her keep. It's a
so my
killer.
question: how many
Yep.
times has she kicked your butt? Because I know
You
she's a
should.
wrestler, and I know.
Yeah. I just as much as Kyle, but probably more than Kyle. But Kyle, he gets in my grill too sometimes. Um, yeah, Jamie and I have a history, and she's tremendous. She was significant in this film too. There's not a missing beat in this film. It's really crazy. I mean,
No, it's not.
it's another soon to be Polonian classic. I'm really honored to be real deep in the trenches in this one. What often happens, I've been blessed with him, but yeah, Jamie seals the deal too, and she really has her moments in those scenes too, where I like when she like rolls down the hill and gets chased, and she's does all her own stunts, obviously,
Right.
and because she's a trooper, and then even like just again all the subtle moments, she really is in the elements, and is cute. I mean, those are cute scenes, very campy and silly, and she had some improv at times that were just there in the moment, and yeah, I mean, obviously she's killing it in Sharkula too, and everything else, and Camp Murder and tons of other things she does elsewhere. But I'm sure she's going to be in many more Polonias for a while because
I would imagine. Yeah.
she's killing it. Yeah, she's doing a great job.
Speaking of Camp Murder, I actually watched Camp Murder last week.
Oh my gosh.
So
Okay.
yeah, another super fun movie. Different, definitely different than House
Yeah.
Squatch.
Yeah.
Definitely a different vibe.
Yeah, but they're all fun. I mean, they're
Oh yeah,
fun.
oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we know it's that was tremendous too. I think that's leaving its mark too.
Yeah. Yes,
Um,
to me, Camp Murder is very much like Camp Blood on steroids.
oh, okay.
Kinda.
Okay, yeah,
Kind of.
it's got familiar elements and stuff. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
right. You're right. It is. It's a little different.
Like
It's
everything's
both
kind
good
of
and
amped
different.
up. Yeah, everything's
Yeah,
just kind of amped up a little
the
bit.
pace is quick too.
Yeah.
It's got a fun pace.
Well, that's the thing that I really like about House Squatch. Yes, I have the limited edition Blu-ray. Yes. Um,
Nice, nice. It's a
it's
great.
what it's like 70 minutes, and there's not a dull moment in it at
I,
all.
I know it's Mark is just he's incredible. He really has that. He has it down. I mean, it's and it shows. It's yeah. I'm very proud of a lot of these recent or all of it, but this one, yeah, this is. Everybody's a lot of these like I've even Sharkula too. I mean, I'm hearing nothing but good responses and people that have come out of the woodworks and said, "You guys are really you've got it down, guys. There's something going on here." And we, I mean, it's obviously being shown to the world lately, but I've heard nothing but good stuff. And but House Squatch too. Like I said, I because like Shark. I mean, I mean. I don't know. I don't know why. I I don't know. I just it's to me it's like it's almost like a underground surprise hit or something or a sleeper hit or something. But
Right,
it
right.
just again these are a lot of these. But I mean we have every time I turn around somebody's like, oh yeah, I thought Frozen Sasquatch was amazing, and I'm like, really? Like that's like another. It seemed like a lifetime ago. Like, but
Right.
like it's just really amazing. I'm glad that a lot of people have really um, have really started to they're catching on to what Mark and
What y'all
everybody's
doing?
doing,
Yeah. Yeah,
and
for sure.
they're having a good time with it. I haven't heard, I mean, and I've again, like I said, I don't want to get into every backstory and every little secret, but it's I've just I've seen a lot of humanity in these recent times too. I mean, with all this stuff, I've seen it's. I know it sounds. I mean, it's just a silly, campy movie, but like some of this stuff, but I've seen some. I've seen a lot of people. It's been a rewarding experience. I mean, behind the scenes too. I've seen people start to there's a lot of grow just personal growth coming from doing these projects or being a part of these experiences, and I've it's been it's been inspiring. I've seen a lot of I it's just and it's not rare, but sometimes it is, and but I've it's been a good it's good to see a lot of people get their time
Hmm.
and get some credit, where they deserve and things. And Mark has always been uh, very welcoming to trying interesting things or getting the best out of some new things and new places and people, and very open to uh, to giving people chances, I guess. And I've said that in other talks, shows, and things, but he does. He's a very open person to try to see where he can take things.
I'm really happy that you guys are finally getting the exposure that that y'all really deserve, because y'all make some really great movies.
Thank
Um,
you.
they're just
It's very kind.
they're just they're goofy, they're fun, but they're fun, and that
Yeah,
I think that's what a lot of people need that. You know what I mean?
yeah. It's tough
And
times right now
yeah,
for
and
a lot of people.
but you guys
Yeah,
are providing this wonderful entertainment for everybody, and I'm finally glad that you guys are getting y'all's due. You know what I mean? Um, so speaking of actually starting with House Squatch, I've noticed a real big uptick about everybody talking about you guys. Like starting with House Squatch and Sharkula and Amityville in Space, all this stuff coming out, and it's just like everybody's talking about it. Everybody.
hmm
like the grandma down the street is talking about it just about. You know what I mean?
It's really weird. I know. I think what that is because it's very surreal to me. A lot of it. I still, I trip putting one leg into a short leg at a time every day, but it's crazy. But it's stuff that I've always dreamt about. It's stuff I've always worked for, or I was hoping to. I mean, everybody they want for me. I wanted to, be a part of good projects ultimately, it's crazy, but I think what has been coming of the last few weeks for me was some of it, or starting to see or piece some of this together, is I think it's just, again, I say to a lot of my closer friends and stuff, that I think it's just sticking to what you like doing. I mean, I know it's an easy peasy formula, and it's nothing. I mean, but sometimes it takes a minute to find the right places and people, but I just think it's, again, that Mark loves making movies. He's always loved making movies.
Right.
He's ecstatic about the craft. And I think he, again, back a few minutes ago, and I've said it many times already, he likes unique people. He likes unique, real, honest, hardworking people. He and he likes, he's loyal, or he likes that loyalty stuff. He likes to give people, like I said, he tries to seek out some unique people.
Mm-hmm.
Not to make or try to make that sound weird or rude or something, but it just he's very, and he's been around the block, and he's been through the Hollywood world a bit at times, and like a bunch of us at different times, and he knows the game, and he wants to make good, interesting projects, and he wants, to keep some of it for himself too, like any of us. He doesn't want to give it all away. He doesn't want to just show up and go through the get a paycheck and go through the, and that's terrible either. But he wants to make his visions, and he wants to create a freedom, and I mean, who doesn't? And I mean, can you believe that he's been able to do that, and then also get to these levels that it's unreal. I've said for a few minutes now, again, to some close friends, that I knew that something special was going on. I knew that very soon that some of this was going to start snowballing, and the secret would get out a little bit, but I had and I was excited. I was like, yeah, this is great. We really got some special things going on here. But I just, the stuff that's been in the last few weeks and months, a little bit, I just way beyond my expectation. I mean, I with these guys, which I'll see again in another couple weeks, it's just hanging. We're just having a good time, and I knew, again, I'm very proud. I work hard. I love the group that the groups that I've made with some of this stuff, and I knew things were coming, but this is no new thing to him either still, but I just knew we were up to something, and I said, yeah, I knew this year was going to be hot and big, but I had no idea that it was going to go where it's gone with some of it. I was just like, wow. And it's been a treat and a pleasure. And I'm excited to see what's next. I mean, we're ready to go. I mean, we're like the Golden State Warriors. Like,
yeah, right.
They've played some good ball the last couple of nights, and it's just like we're in the zone. It's just been Sharkula has been just popping, and the House Squatch. I'm ecstatic. It's on everything. It's crazy. I
cannot wait to see Sharkula. I'm so
really. You haven't seen it yet?
I haven't seen it yet.
Oh my gosh!
Well, I'm hoping soon.
Yeah. Well, if you obviously your energy for House Squatch, magnetize that times 100-fold. I mean,
Yeah.
Sharkula is the premier project right now. I mean, and like I said, we still got a few more in comings out and still in the works, and I'm sure more after that. But Sharkula, people have they feel that it's come, like
Yeah.
the Polonia experience is
Like, it's
here.
now full.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's but House Squatch is a nice little. It's its own beast, and
Literally.
but yeah, but I mean, again, like even just like there's been all this stuff, like even like you stating like today with like the Tubi Tuesday and you know, we've had some good go with this Tubi thing for a bit too, and you know, I obviously was a big piece of Noah's Shark.
Right.
And we've had some good hype with that and a lot of things, including with Tubi and some recognition with Tubi and in both conditions, in both film Noah's Shark. I play Noah in the segments that include Noah, and also in House Squatch. Besides being Mulcahy and a few other characters behind closed curtains and things, I also for a majority of that movie am the House Squatch. So I mean,
I was wondering.
so at least I mean the good portion of the tail end there, it's me pretty much.
Nice.
But even in some scenes where I'm acting to myself, playing multiple roles like Eddie Murphy or Austin Powers or whoever, like I'm multitude. I play at least probably 8 different parts, or I don't know, maybe at least, let's say 6 parts in this film. So try and guess who everybody. Like, that's some I'm interacting with myself, and then I, you know, just we're even trying to be friendly with myself too, if you gets the trip in more ways than one. So it's yeah, I enjoy having a good time with myself.
So was that costume like insanely hot?
Oh yeah, but it's Jeff has done that a few times too, where he's like in Camp Murder, he's had layers of care like
right.
going on, but in that too, doing House Squatch at times. And I would jump in and out of, and we all do this where we jump in and out of costumes or jump in and out of production roles. And, you know, 1 minute you're holding a boom mic, and then you're doing a light, then you're carrying, then you're acting, then you're in makeup, then you're eating, and then you're sleeping for 2 seconds and you're filming again. Like it just, and then sometimes you're farting and sleeping and farting in the same scene. And like,
and sometimes Mark is filming the farting and sleeping. Right?
So, but as that in that Squatch costume, I think I had like I probably had my Mulcahy costume or like 3 different like because I play different. Like I think I had 3 different shirts on, and then the costume plus I think I had a mask for COVID, give or take. You know, we were still off and on with this COVID thing.
Right.
And many of these behind the scenes, you'll see us wearing masks or doing some bumping and 6 feet apart and whatever when we, you know, whatever, I don't know, but you know, at least making an effort of the COVID, you know, acknowledgement. And so I have the mask on because sometimes I'm close to people in like I'm bear hugging Jamie and you know, and she can't wear obviously the mask in the shot, but then I have the mask on just to be respectful, you know. And so I've got the mask on, then I've got another thing on, I probably got makeup on still on my face, then the mask on, you know, and then I'm running down the hill, rolling after her and just, you know, and it's just nonstop. But I mean, that movie just, but here's the thing that I like to be a little goofy and a little full of myself, I guess. But in the beginning of House Squatch too, I mean, obviously, you know, just like in recent Top Gun, you know, we come out with the aircraft ablazing in the beginning of the film. You know, here I am driving a helicopter through a crazy town, and so we bring it all, man. I should be driving the helicopter to the House Squatch premiere like Tom Cruise did for Top Gun, but I know I'm being a little
That would be epic.
full of myself here, but I'm saying, like, it's like here we're on par with the blockbusters, like starting it out with a bang right out the gates. The movie just goes right into this helicopter ride. I'm like,
Yep.
I didn't know I was that talented.
You can do it all, man.
Titus, he's like, yeah.
Speaking of, Titus killed it in this movie.
I know.
Baxter.
He just never stops. I know. He is phenomenal. He's a phenomenal actor, phenomenal person. His time is he's a big piece of Amityville in space, and just nonstop with the credits for him too, and his history with Mark, and yeah, this movie too. I mean, it's like, all right, you've got four. It's again like an all-star basketball team. I'm like, who's the shitty player on this team?
Right.
I mean,
yeah, there's no bad way.
The whole crew is the best. Like, as far, I mean, and we, there's many more that are in multitudes of the others too, but there wasn't a weak link. I mean, and that's how Mark likes it, I guess. But
yeah.
Titus, he, I think, he's always a busy guy, but
I can imagine
he still manages to get in these nonstop Polonia experiences, and also his wife Natalie too. Is a big piece of
I just saw her interview with Steven the other day.
Yep. I had to say hello, of course, to everybody. Yep. But she's terrific too. She's really a trooper and a gifted performer.
I definitely see big things for those guys, for you, for everybody, for all you guys.
Crazy. It's crazy. I've never been around that amount of great talent. I mean, it's he's so versatile. I mean, it just every time he brings some new character to life. And I've always thought that Titus was like, it just he's just such he's another person. Oh my God, I can't work with that guy again. I'll tell you, we're gonna kill each other, or I'm gonna be at each other's throats. I mean, he's just a terrific person, and his wife too, and just absolute just again the same experience with all of them. It's a easy peasy experience working with all these guys and all people.
well, that's another thing I wanted to bring up, that all you guys, the little bit of interaction that I've had with all you guys, mostly most of the stuff I've had is with you, but anytime I've contacted one of you guys or talked to y'all or anything, y'all are all so incredibly nice, all of y'all.
Thank you. Thanks.
And it's and this is an industry where a lot of people aren't. So
yeah, I know. I'm aware of it. I know. And the world isn't the nicest too.
Very true. Very true.
That's unfortunate
but I can just tell that all you guys,
Hollywood is tough. I'm very aware of the trickeries, and I don't know what's next. All I can tell you, and then this is where my head is in the last few, we're just gonna keep making movies, and whatever happens, and that's how I've been since the beginning. That's where my head is still at this point. And we've done some great stuff. This summer is ridiculous. I mean, it's not only is there's a lot of great shit coming out, but then we've got stuff in the works that it's going to be a big year, man, because these movies keep coming out quicker too. And so
y'all just crank them out, man.
It's just this summer is going to be, and with COVID hopefully slowing. I mean, hopefully, I don't want to get into that, but hopefully with that being, out of the way, hopefully a bit. Who knows? I mean, it's just, and not that stopped us, but we had, work around some things, but, we had to hold up on some stuff, and at different times because it is what it is. But I mean, this summer is going to be nuts, and the best is yet to come still, and that's crazy because it's just been just amazing. So yeah, but as far as knowing how crazy and little touch and go Hollywood world is, and I don't know. I in my mind, and I think this kind of goes for any creator or somebody that's starting to get their foot into some of these worlds of the world. I think the thing is again that just do what you love and hope for the best, and being that we're independent film, or I mean, whatever, as independent as we can be, really.
Yeah.
Just don't let anything stop you. Just keep doing what you like to do. Be fair to people as much as you can be, and just count your blessings and just keep rolling the dice. And I don't think about I mean, I'm way beyond thinking about my place in Hollywood or any of this. Because I like to act. I like to make movies. I like being creative. I like to be around positive, creative people that are fair. And as long as I keep sticking to that, which has been my motto so far, who knows? But I won't tolerate, like anybody, stuff that isn't cool, but I'll do my best, but you can't win every battle in the world. But again, this goes for life, period. You can't let nothing get in your way. And that doesn't mean you got to stampede through the world, but if you got something and you think you're passionate about something, you got to keep fighting, and you got to keep sticking it out, and you got to keep giving it your all, and see what happens. And that's really all that's been, for me. I'm really surprised to see, let's just look at this. I mean, again, I know I'm really getting into some steep stuff here, but, right. but think of, let's start with Mark, of course, because he's the man of the hour, of course, and his great vision. And then, let's maybe spin off into at least me and Jeff. I mean, but I don't need to get into how long we've been doing it, because that's another thing that I'm like, I've been doing since I'm like 3, which was 2 weeks ago. No, like obviously I'm able to deliver the goods, so it doesn't matter if I'm 300 or been doing this for 9 zillion years or whatever. But this can be a thing with aging myself, but whatever. But because I'm trying to stay marketable, I guess. I'm kidding, but look at where Mark, and Mark made Splatter Farm when he was 3, right?
Right, over here.
So he's still only 35, right? So, but Mark, but he's terrific. And look at the history that Mark. I mean, Jesus. It just Mark is just. Again, comes out. He hits it big with Splatter Farm, and just keeps doing what he does, and he does it with his pals and his friends and Ken and his brother, and they stick to their game and their visions, and they've made tons of those things are on Tubi and some of these like horror other sites and Horror Zone and those classics and all those. I mean, there's stuff that I'm like, Mark, oh my God, like just his movie, Halloween Night and a lot of these are coming back for rehashings and sequels and spinoffs, and we're still dealing. There's so much of this, but just the legacy that Mark has had himself. I mean, in a little bit of time, let's say he lived to 9 trillion. I mean, he's only been around for 2 minutes. I mean, it's what a resume. I mean, what a and let's just say he said, "I'm done. I'm Michael Jordan. I'm out." Like after Shark, like I'm not making no more movies. I'm done. But no, come on, Mark, one more. Just you got one more.
All right,
but fine, all right. But I think I've got 10 minutes today to make a feature. So for real, he's had such a colorful ride. I mean. And I who the heck knows what's next? But I mean, you go from that to now, and there's still he just doesn't stop. And I don't think it's just, there's way more to go. I mean, and it's already been crazy. So, and then and like I said, Jeff and I, and our history together and otherwise, and also to be brought into the halfway through the Polonia ride too. It's just,
So awesome.
it's hard to believe. I can't believe it sometimes. There's days that I'm like, I mean, Jeff's a good pal of mine in real life, of course. But I just would have never guessed some of these things that he's accomplished and vice versa and stuff of together. I don't think he even thinks about it. We don't, I mean, I know I get I'm a talker, and I'm really, my energy as everybody knows, is just, I don't stop jabbering and just nonstop energy. But Jeff is very, again, he's just like, I think he tries to take one project at a time. And I was trying to think of what he said a couple of years ago that stuck with me, and why am I? He just, I think it's this. He just, again, he tries to take it one experience at a time and really hone in on every time, as this, gives the dedication to one project, as and I think that's kind of how I'm at too. Or even with even things getting a little more busier, I will dedicate the time to each, this is where we're at, this is what we're doing, and give it the respect every time. And so, but even, but Jeff too, I mean, he's had quite a ride in general, as well as with Mark. And I don't know what's next. I know a couple things that might be next. I don't want to get out,
right.
but he's coming in. I've been very proud of his work, and to see. I say it almost every day that I've been amazed to see how far he's come in his work too.
Definitely. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, it does take a little, it does take some time for some of this to come around, and he's found his niche with some things.
He has, and like I said, he's finally getting the recognition that he's deserved for years and years and years.
Yeah, he's been around,
and all right, so we do have a couple of questions from the chat, so I'm gonna go ahead and pull those up for you.
Okay.
Got where was House Squatch filmed?
A majority of it was filmed a lot at the Polonia homestead in Wellsboro, Pennsylvania. A lot of more recent Polonia films often utilize that space.
Let's say I've seen that house.
Familiar. His house has been everywhere. It's been space. It's been created into a Squatch. It's been had some crazy dolls in it a few times. Some vampires in the basement. I mean, and it's been for sale on many movies too, and nobody's buying. So you just keep making movies there. So I do something with it, right? Most of the time, it's there. I'm trying to think of other locations. We shoot often a lot at where he often at the university he works at. We filmed many films and many projects there. Some of the scenes where the helicopter stuff and the helicopter stuff, a lot of the hospital bedding scenes and stuff, as well as there's a conference room that's been used in Camp Murder in the beginning, and a couple of scenes in Camp Murder, as well as in this film, as almost like an interrogation space or whatnot, where they're conversing a lot with Ken and Titus. That's at the university in one of the classrooms. Um, we do a lot of green screen stuff in some of the studio spaces at the school. Trying to think what
That's
else.
really neat. Yeah, that's
And then often a lot of scenes, a lot of stuff is also filmed at Ken's place, which is not far from Mark's. It's
oh, okay.
within 5 minutes up the road.
Oh,
A lot of
nice.
Camp Murder, Splatter Farm 2, um, countless films is also Ken Van Zant's property. A lot of the more visual, Sister Krampus, run a lot of visual scenes in that too. That's a lot of Ken's property or farmstead.
That's another one I'm looking forward to, Sister
Yeah,
Krampus.
that's a good one too.
All
Another
right, let's see. We got. And how long did it take to film House Squatch?
as far as shooting wise, probably a week. That's usual, a typical independent or fairly typical independent window for a give or take a feature now. That's just, again, it depends on who's making the film and whatnot, but for Mark, a week is fair. And then as far as editing and whatever, I mean, he's still, I mean,
he's probably still editing it.
No. But he like, it's like with Mark or Jeff and I are joking. We've been joking for years now that like by the time we're leaving and get kind of back to our normal lives, he'll have a rough cut of the film already. It's like he films during the day and pretty much rough cuts at night. And then, and then by the time we're like, oh, you guys want to, before you leave, you want to watch at least the rough cut? Oh, yeah, okay. So we get an idea what to expect, and then it still comes
back. Awesome.
Magicianal, wonderful, totally different thing when I see it at the end sometimes. But just wow, what a job you did, Mark.
That's awesome. All right, let's see. What is the first movie that you acted in?
That I acted in.
Yeah.
All right. Well, here we go. So on previous interviews and stuff and whatnot, this was some of my early credits, way early when I was, again, 3 years old. I don't know how I looked at, like I was 10 at 3, but I was a big boy. I was like, but I was in a movie called Son of a Woman with Al Pacino.
Nice.
Kind of in the upstate New York area, or most of that movie was Manhattan, but also a lot upstate New York too. And when I was 3, that's where I grew up, and I was honored to be a part of that for a couple of weeks as one of the students. It was tremendous first anything experience, let alone film. Oscar-winning film with an Oscar-winning legend and a few other legends that were on that set too. Tremendous. Just I couldn't ask for. I mean, again, that was an incredible first experience for any young person that wants to get into this stuff, and it was insane. So that was my first film. And then as far as like a pretty solid
substantial
speaking role of some nature, I was I think that I'm trying to think probably 2 or 3 more movies later, I had a significant supporting role in a movie called Black Easter. It was an anthology movie by filmmaker, writer Bruce Hollenbeck, who's also been a part of many of our projects over the years, and he's a well-known writer as well as horror writer icon of that nature. His tremendous success over the years. He's been a big part of some of Jeff and I's stuff in earlier days, and he still keeps it coming. I think he was just in another. I think he was just in a Mark project. Actually, I don't know. Some stuff I don't know everything, but don't quote. But Bruce is still, he's very thick in the horror genre, and it was a film that he was directing, co-wrote and directed. Another partner of many of us over the years is another guy by the name of Joe Bignardi, who was a director of Project D that Jeff and I have been a part of, James Corollas, many others, Marie DeLorenzo too. and he's also had other movies like Shadow Tracker, a few other, many others. He has both of them big pieces of Jeff and I's film Halloween Horror Tales, which Mark has also had a piece of that too.
Right.
And so, do some IMDb in, but anyways, I'm teasing or whatever. So, but the list goes on with the legends and icons and names. Yeah. But that was one of Bruce's films, and I played like like it was like a period piece, and I guess I was like a rancher or something in the scenes and stuff.
Gotcha.
And it was my first time working with Bruce and Joe, and it was a pleasure back then. And I was probably like a 4 at the time. So, and Bruce must have been 25 or 20. I don't know. I'm just kidding. But no, Bruce is great. But that was my first real supporting role, speaking part in a film. And again, great people to work with, and that was in like the Hudson Valley region, which is very big hotbed for great artists, and it's hot as ever now too. Both weather-wise, right at the moment, but also it's had its legends all through history in that region. So, in all types of fields, so, as we know. So,
there you go.
Yeah, I know. Right. I can talk, right?
we have a very important question here.
Okay.
Is Sasquatch your favorite cryptid?
What exactly do we mean by this? I know I should probably know all this stuff, but what exactly you want me to say, or my favorite film or favorite character, or what does it mean by cryptid?
However you want to take it. I think what he's saying is Sasquatch your favorite like creature?
Oh, well, I see I just saw a bumper sticker with a Squatch on the back of a bumper. I'm like, maybe I can sign their like I'm signing autographs for people, but Bigfoot's everywhere.
You can sign at House Squatch.
Yeah, because I am the House Squatch at times, as well as Mulcahy and a few other characters. But it's terrific. I mean, all that we make all these kind of. I would say probably sharks are my favorite thing. How many shark movies I've been in now? Half a dozen, and more to come with that too. So sharks, vampires, Draculas. Squatches and crazy hillbillies that eat people and hate their aunts and stuff like that, their cousins, and space aliens. I'm also a space fighter. I'm Star Trekian, and
there you go.
Yeah, it just goes on. And I'm also students in Oscar-winning movies, and whatever. But Sasquatch is fun. It's a great legend, and maybe we'll see what happens with that too. I mean, we do House Squatch versus Sharkula, or
that's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for the crossovers. It's going to be epic.
It'll be epic, yeah. So we'll see. We never know. Mark just keep. Oh, what are we doing? What crazy thing are we doing now?
Yep. All right, let's see. We got one more really good question for you. Let's see. Have you always wanted to work in film, and what movies inspire your work?
Have I always wanted to work in film? I when I was real young again, probably 1 instead of 3. I grew up, I was just talking to a friend about history of cinema and stuff like that, and a pop culture of our generations and the luxuries of the recent times. I grew up watching like a lot of like the Dukes of Hazards and Knight Riders and Buck Rogers and fantasy and E.T. and Star Wars, all that stuff. Like many, we have so much of it now, but it was early days of a lot of that stuff. And I was always fascinated with theatrical elements or I as a little, I like to play dress up. Again, I know I think uh, Natalie was mentioning on Steven's show that, again, being that she was like the only girl in her family, she did a lot of make believe in and pretending different characters and uh, and so I used to like to. There's many pics of me as a youngster dressed up as Superman or Batman or Mr. T or some of
Right,
the
right, right.
early pop culture characters, and then as I got 8 or 9 or 10 or a little bit older, I was seeing a lot of either some close relatives or other people doing plays and performing in groups and music group and stuff, and I was like, oh, this looks, how do I do? I don't, my parents were I think my mom had some artistic uh, abilities and interests, but my father was more of a blue collar, um, uh, had other interests and stuff, more of a down to earth kind of person, and I saw multitudes of different cultures and things, and I think I don't know. I think it just happened. I think when it was like, again, early, just about teenage years, that's when I was like, oh, this, I have no idea how I still really don't know this whole thing sometimes, but how you do it or don't do it, or I don't know I mean, I kind of have a gist of it now, but I didn't really, I did some school plays. I did some modeling stuff, and then I did some of those early movies, and then some of these things like now piggybacked and snowballed, and by knowing people and everybody would be like, oh, well, I'm doing this. You want to be in my project, or I can recommend you for somebody else, or
Mhm.
a lot of word of mouth and stuff, and then I I really liked. I still really like film a lot. Um, I love creative stuff, period, and I love theater too. But I really do. Um, I always had a really, really big passion for film for some reason. And Mark probably the same thing. He probably,
Oh yeah, I can
as
imagine.
soon as he had a camera, he was out making movies, and same with me too. That was another thing. As soon as I got my first camera, was making movies just all the time. Just like, let's make a movie today, like the same as what we do now. Just what are we doing today? Let's make a movie. So, um, yeah, I always wanted to do movies. I love cinema. I still just love film. Love to see a good film like Top Gun 2, which was a few weeks ago now, but that was just a great experience. It again keeps me coming back for more.
I would
Um,
love to see y'all's take on Top Gun.
okay, we'll have to come up with something niche.
Tell,
Maybe we could do
tell,
like a
tell Mark.
pterodactyl
Yeah,
gun or something, or like a
yeah,
bird, like I'm flying on a bird or something, or
yeah,
some
something.
bat thing, or sharkula gun or something. Yeah, we'll
Yeah,
toy with that and
yeah.
see. But nonetheless, yeah, I always wanted to do film. I love film. How did I get? I was doing some plays. A buddy of mine saw some ad for the auditions for Son of a Woman. We went, and then we all ended up getting in somehow, and we just kept going. Yeah, there you go.
Squatch gun.
Um, and then what was, I think, was that there was like a third piece of that question, right? Was it like one, two,
Oh,
like a
yeah.
last?
Let me
What's
find it
the last?
again.
Yeah.
There's a few more comments. Let's see. Yeah. All right. Let's see.
Oh, what
Um,
movies inspire
inspire
you?
your work. Yes. Or
It's just
what are some of your favorites?
um
Top of your head. You
yeah, I
can.
like all kinds of stuff. I
Yeah,
would
me too.
say um The Green Mile was a great movie. It has
Fantastic.
fantasy elements, but drama, morals too, or human morals. Forrest Gump was a good movie back in the day. As far as like genre movies and stuff or horror kind of things, I think I give a lot of credit to Wes Craven. his projects that are all his projects, but the bigger ones they show his abilities. Um, I liked some of the House movies, the House 1 and 2 and all
Oh
them.
yeah, classics.
They were like a campy horror, and they were
Hmm.
kind of independent-ish at the time,
Yeah.
so they were inspiring. And I think nowadays anything that's unique or original or have a good niche, something that sticks to you.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you. All right. Well, I only have one more question for you.
Okay, okay.
So, who could you take in a fight, House Squatch or Sharkula?
Myself,
Or
wow.
who would you rather fight? Who do you think
Would
you
I
have a better
rather?
shot with?
I'm gonna probably say Dracula and or Sharkula or whatever, any element of that, because it's Jeff, and I can, he's my buddy, and I can hoodwink him to be like, hey, bro, look over there, and then get him, knock him out. But or if it's just Dracula's very somebody that can be emotionally, seems like he's always been very like if I toyed with his emotions, I could like sidetrack him somehow. And but
Yeah.
with House Squatch, he's just a monster. I just think she's gonna rip me to pieces. So I have nothing unless I give him a Snickers bar or something up this angry fit, or a granola bar that tastes like poo poo in this farty film that we created.
Very cool. Well, everybody, yeah, go check out House Squatch. It is on Tubi for
Yes.
free right now,
And it's
as
on
well
other
as
things too. It's on multitudes of things, and
yeah, as well
it's
as a
been
bunch of
added
other
to,
movies with Mr. Tim Hatch. If you just type in Tim Hatch in the Tubi search, a whole bunch of movies are going to pop up. You can
or in
watch.
Google too. Apparently, I'm worth $12 million. Google, yeah. Well, I don't know who came into my piggy
Oh,
bank,
Google.
but, who knows? But it's all fun. But
That
yeah,
is that
great.
is so brilliant. Well, I want to thank you so very very much for coming on. I
Well,
really
thank you.
appreciate
It's
it.
an honor. Thank you for your passion and your respect and your love of what we do. And thank everybody else who's watching or who's really enjoys Mark's work and the ride that we've been on. And like I said, there's more to come this summer to watch, and we're also crafting things in the oven as we speak. And there's, I'm sure, a few more goodies to come. So thank you, and God bless and all that, and stay safe with these complicated times that we're all going through. It's some, hopefully we get some calmer times again. So,
Relief, yeah.
yeah, but nonetheless, I'm glad that we're able to at least give you guys some adventure and some good times, and that's what we're here to do.
And put some smiles on some faces.
Yeah, or you tickle your funny bone too.
Yep. Yep. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna get out of here. So remember to stay spooky. We'll see y'all later.